Who could have predicted that 2020 would turn out like this? Over 20,000 people in our country have died from the virus. Everyone is living in lockdown. The buzzwords have become lockdown, social distancing, isolation, Zoom, and cancelled. The highlight of the day has become the daily walk. And when you succeed in getting an online supermarket delivery, well, the joy is unconfined. Paul wrote to the Corinthians, "For our present troubles are small and won't last very long, yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever. So we don't look at the troubles we can see now. Rather, we fix our gaze on the things that cannot be seen. For the things we see now will soon be gone, but the things we cannot see will last forever." 2 Corinthians 4:17 and 18. As we live through unprecedented times, Paul's words come as a timely reminder of the bigger picture. It is so easy for us to concentrate on the troubles we can see and be obsessed with the dangers and inconvenience of life under Corona. Perhaps these strange days can just remind us to look for the bigger picture and to focus on the things that we cannot see, the things that God has prepared for all who love Him, and they are things that last forever. A word of caution. I think it is unhelpful to see COVID-19 as God's judgment. Illness is part of being human. Of course, we can debate humanity's role in spoiling the universe, but that's not really helpful to people at the moment. And nor should we interpret God's promises as seeming to exempt Christians from trouble. Christians are dying from COVID-19. Christians are losing loved ones. I was challenged too by the words of the tetraplegic journalist Melanie Reid that lockdown has given society new insights into the everyday life of many disabled people who feel trapped, helpless, lonely, and isolated. "Welcome to my world," she wrote. Now, Paul wrote to the Thessalonians, "The Lord is faithful. He will strengthen you. He will guard you." 2 Thessalonians 3:3. In just 11 words, Paul reminds us of 3 promises. Firstly, the Lord is faithful. Faithful means true, reliable, steadfast, dependable, loyal. Paul is reminding us that God is there and that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. We've been shocked how quickly a local Chinese problem has turned into a global pandemic, but be sure of this, God was not surprised. Point 2. The Lord will strengthen you. We have the promise of God's presence and comfort. He is a very present help in trouble, the psalmist tells us. God is walking with us through this time of challenge. And finally, the Lord will guard you. Isaiah reminds us that the Lord's arm is not too weak to save you, nor is his ear too deaf to hear your call. Whatever our personal circumstances and whatever our challenges with COVID-19 are, the Lord is able to protect us and to carry us through. The promise in 2 Thessalonians should help us to see that big picture, to know that God is with us even when it is tough, and that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love Him. I found Easter a real encouragement this year, perhaps because it was the strangest Easter ever, the simple message was clearer than usual. Professor Ian Bradley, writing in the Times newspaper, expressed it well. The Easter message is that death and darkness have been decisively vanquished, and we no longer need to fear them. Easter is not just an historical fact, but a living experience, and one which lasts forever. Times are hard for a lot of people at the moment, but in Jesus we have a hope that will never let us down and never end. And the starting point, as Paul tells the Thessalonians, is to believe that the Lord is faithful.